Hey there YouTube, and welcome to the One Scary Woman channel. Now, I launched this channel officially last week, but I wanted to take some time this week just to explain a little bit more about who I am, what I plan to do with this channel, and how it will benefit you. So real quick, some background on me. My name is Sarah McDermott Jan, also known as One Scary Woman. I am a longtime screenwriter. I work predominantly in the horror and thriller genres, and I've been a screenwriter for about 15 years. I've sold original content. I oftentimes get hired by production companies if they're getting ready to go into production, but the script is not quite there yet. It needs some fixing. They'll hire me to come in and get it production ready. Or sometimes I get hired to write a story that is based on someone else's idea. So a director or producer might have an amazing idea for a script, but since that's not their skill set, they bring me in as the writer to help put the screenplay together. Now, another thing I'm very into, as I mentioned, I like horror films, I like thriller films. I'm very passionate about using both of these genres just to help us overcome the fears we have in life. So I think these kind of stories are very, very powerful when it comes to looking at ourselves symbolically, figuring out what we're afraid of, and then overcoming it. So for those of you who are into, personal development and growth, you may want to subscribe as well so that you can get some of those tips and tricks along the way. All right, now what am I doing with this YouTube channel? So as I've mentioned, I've been a screenwriter for a long time now. For anyone else out there watching this, if you are working as a screenwriter, you are probably also familiar with the fact that screenwriters sometimes have very little power when it comes to the final iteration of their stories. So you may write something, it may be very significant to you, but filmmaking is a very collaborative process. So when you pass that screenplay on and you begin to work with a director, with a producer, they have their own particular visions, and it's really the director's vision, that gets, the top priority when it comes to filmmaking. So a film that you wrote might not, in its final version, really adhere to what you originally imagined for it. So a quick personal story for me, I can tell you that in one instance, I have a film that I wrote, and I did not know until I was actually sitting in the premiere, watching it at the film premiere, that the entire ending had been changed while on set. So of course, things like that can be very jarring to a writer. Now, when I'm working as a writer for hire, I'm pretty much okay with that because that is part of the job. It's a collaborative process. I understand that I'm a writer for hire. However, sometimes you have a story that you write that really means something special to you. And in my case, that story came along, I think about 5-6 years ago. It was the fastest thing I ever wrote. I wrote it in about 8 hours, and I just absolutely fell in love with this story. And I wanted this story to be told the way I had told it and exactly how I visioned it. So this was very, very important to me. So now over the past 5 years, this story has been optioned a couple times. So there were a few times it came close to being filmed with other companies. And in one instance, the company did want to make some fairly big, maybe even bizarre changes. So I was very grateful when the rights reverted back to me on that option. So currently I am back holding the rights to that story, and it's been a dream now for however many years for me to make that story. So I've been very much turning over in my mind now for several years, what if I went ahead and I made this myself and this story stayed what I wanted it to be? So here is my challenge on this YouTube channel. Over the course of this next year, I am going to be making that film. So it's a feature film. I'm going to be going through the whole process, talking about, what the screenwriting process was like, giving tips and tricks there. I am going to be talking about, the casting, the locations, the filming, the directing, the marketing, the release, everything over the course of this next year until hopefully in a year's time, I have a finished feature film. So the way this benefits you, if this is a dream that you have also had, then please come along for this ride with me, and you will be able to see every step in the process from this initial idea through to finished film. All right, I hope to have you along for my challenge. Go ahead, hit like and subscribe right now, and join me on this somewhat scary journey.